Welcome to episode 72 of The Life of a TV Addict. I'm Sasha.
Notorious FPG.
And we're here to bring you the week in TV.
Yes.
So, let me tell you. Last night, I set out on this mission to watch Castle Rock.
Okay.
So, I was watching the first episode, but I was doing it like I do my shows. You know how? And I'm doing something else. I'm like, oh, no. I got to pay attention. So, I rewound it back, put everything down, and was like, okay, I'm going to watch the show.
Right.
And so I'm watching it. And I'm like, oh my God, this shit is so good. This shit is so good. You didn't mention to say it was a horror show. So towards the end, it had this scary ass part. And I'm going to bed. I'm like, what the fuck? Why didn't she say this? Because, you know, in the first episode...
you didn't see the Stephen King inspired stories by Stephen King?
Probably because I wasn't paying attention. So then when it was when the kid was in the jail cell, and what is our guy name from Shameless?
Shameless. I know, and I can't
think
of his name either. That's who he is on Shameless. Mickey, yes. So
when
Zaleski
he was looking
on Castle Rock or something,
and he couldn't see him, and then he started seeing the dead body.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this a scary movie?
Is this a scary movie?
Oh my God, why didn't she tell me this?
Is this scary? But it looks like, I don't know that. Is he the devil? So, how many episodes did you watch?
Only the one.
Okay. So
in the beginning of the second one, but I ain't finished.
So there's a part where the old sheriff that's living with the black guy's adopted mother or whatever, he goes to see the new warden out on this town, and he's telling her about a story the old warden told him, saying he had figured out what was wrong with Castle Rock, and he had met the devil incarnate, and he had put it in a box.
I saw that part then, because I remember, and the guy was saying, no, it's just this town, and he was going through all of these things that happened. It was the, oh my God, the one who, and I never saw somebody kill themselves in that manner. But the guy from Lost. Oh my God, when he tied put that noose around his neck and then drove off I was like, why would you do it that way? I thought
the way he looked at the dog and connected with the dog, I thought he wasn't going to do it. And then he just smiled at him and said, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I was like, what?
Girl.
And now the dog found his head. Did you see that?
Oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? But I heard when he was like, it's the whole town. And then they show one part where the woman is put in the carbon.
Yes.
In the house with the husband.
And the old warden is telling how his brother killed himself. His brother was the mascot.
Yeah.
And he had all these run-ins, it appears. But he said it was always people around me who were actually falling victim to it, which we don't know how his wife got blind. We don't know what they got locked in the basement. Did you see that part when the black guy goes to her house?
No.
And she lets him in, but she doesn't know who he is. So then
I saw that part where she lets him in.
And it made me laugh, and she said the neighbor must have called, and she said, "Are you black? Are you black?" So I said the neighbor must have called her and said, "Did you just have a black man into your house intentionally?"
Oh my God, no. I saw him go to the house and her,
what's in the basement? Because there's a door with a padlock on it. And she said, don't make me call the state police. So he leaves. So we don't know what he had locked in his own basement. If he was doing research, if there was, I'm thinking it's research into who this kid actually was. And he somehow figures he was the devil causing all this strife in Castle Rock and locked him in a box because everything was about not letting them see the light of day. So apparently these stories all can be found, or things that happen or characters are all in various Stephen King books. There's no Castle Rock book.
The Shawshank reference, because when it went in the water and they made sure to focus on the sticker, I'm like, okay, so I'm getting that part.
And apparently, actually, the town Castle Rock was the town in a bunch of different books.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a Stephen King thing. It's like, I think writers are taking pieces from certain ones and making this character. But there's this other central story of this kid and why was he in this box?
Oh,
and why was he locked
God.
away for all these years? No records of who he is. I mean, he hasn't even said a name yet.
Well, the only name, and then we saw that the old warden was the one who actually told him, when they come for you, make sure you say this name.
Deaver,
and I'm like, well, what is the connection with him? And so I'm like, now, is it because we saw the black guy's backstory that he was on this ice and was gone for 11 days, and he like, I don't know what happened, and then his father was dead. The actor playing his father is actually from The Wire, so I'm assuming he's going to have a bigger role than being in pictures.
Okay.
That there's going to be an episode that goes back to the father, because when they showed the picture of him, his mother, and him, the guy is from The Wire, who was the school teacher. And I'm like, why would y'all pay him just to be in a picture? Like, y'all could get any fucking body. Yeah. So I'm assuming he's going to be in some of these episodes.
Well, the black guy is the guy from the Nick. He's been in a couple. No, he's been in.
Wasn't he actually in the movie that won the Oscar? Is it Moonlight?
Yeah, well, he was in the end of Moonlight.
Yes. He was in that.
He played the guy older that he owned the restaurant.
That he was in love with. He was in something else, but he's been around the block too. Yeah. But it was the one in the picture. I'm like, okay, he's going to be coming out soon because it's him. And I was like, so is that the connection? Because at first I was like, oh, he probably telling him. I mean, I thought that the guy, when I first saw the guy and he asked for that attorney, I thought like he was also stuck out there with him. Right. And that it was some connection that way. But then you see that it's actually the warden who tells him. So I'm like, okay, this guy said that he does capital cases and none of his clients live. So is it like the warden like, get him killed too? Right. Yeah, like get him killed too. Right. Do what you do.
That too. What you don't mean to do so well, but you do so well.
Get that done.
Well, we see the warden, the female warden, she tried to do that on the low. I don't know if you got to this part, but they decide to try to fix the problem by letting an inmate fix the problem, air quotes. So they put him in the most dangerous part of the jail with a well-known Aryan in like, oh, you're double booked, wink wink, and that's who he's roomed with. And all you see is he's in the corner looking weird AF and just not saying nothing, and you hear the area guys like, stop talking so loud, and it's like, oh, what? Child, the next morning they go in there to get the body up. They said when they did the autopsy, they said the Aryan was riddled with cancer throughout his body. The person doing the autopsy, the mortician, she was like, I don't know how he even walked into a cell. His body should have went out a long time ago. So it's like, is he like a walking radiation? Like, just you get too close to him if you mean him harm, because it's obvious that's not going to be the case with everybody. People have been close to him, but if he feels like you mean him harm, does his just essence just turn?
Also, it's a weapon.
Yeah, just turn you against you.
But I saw one of the things that I didn't like when Mickey go in the room with. And he's watching it, and he's like, where he's at, and he see all these dead bodies, and then he goes out. Oh my God! When he shot the gun in the damn girl, I was like, and then the next day he just out in the yard watching the inmates. I'm like, so that was no reports needed to be filed. Nothing. Y'all just gonna let this motherfucker just go back to work. So when he was there, I'm like, wait, what's going on? So what's the connection? Is it that Mickey could kind of see what he is? What's going on with them? See,
I feel like he has some sort of mind control. I think did you say that earlier, that he does something with their heads? Because I think he put those images in Mickey's head and wanted Mickey to see that. Maybe it was just to see if his mind was sensitive enough for him to actually control it in some way and control what he sees. But I think that was his doing. Somehow, I don't know. Because even he says to him later, he says, did you go outside outside of this room. Never mind. I'm having a sympathy pregnancy and da 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 da. And it's like, no, you really did see that. You saw it. It happened. And I was telling my other friend too that was watching it. They was like, "What's the thing with the food?" And I was like,
"Because the fly was in the coffee, and then there was some."
I think he eats the rodents because you saw he caught the mouse and he was watching it, but he didn't catch his food. His food wasn't touched. The spaghetti, the bread, this, that, but the mouse wasn't there on the trap. Oh. He's been down. I think he's been down in that thing so long that that's what he's used to eating now. He was catching the mice. I don't know. It's a whole bunch going on, and
because the mouse. Yeah, he's fucking weird as fuck. Now he's weird as fuck. But the mouse thing, because I hate seeing it. So whenever I see them coming on, I know that that's what's gonna happen. I turn away. Okay. I don't want to watch it. Yeah. I'm like Monk. That episode. You ever saw that one? And the rats just. I know it's coming. When I watch Monk, I know that scene is coming, and I turn away intentionally, so I just won't see that. So I didn't even pay it. Once I saw it coming out, I was like, no, I saw him looking at the hole. I said, I already know where this is going. Yeah, and I just turned away. Yeah. So but I was talking because it was a fly in Mickey's coffee, and then he goes to pluck it out or whatever, and it was like kind of weird that they focused on the fly. It was. It was a strange thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then we saw the connection with him and the girl that used to live, the black guy, and the girl that used to live across the street from him. Did you see that? Because I saw her going to buy. Was she buying weed or was she meth? No, she was buying. I think it was Adderall, but it's some sort of medication. She said to quiet the voices. Mm-hmm. So she is some sort of telepathy. She has some sort of telepathy. But apparently, with him, even when they were kids, whatever he was feeling, she would feel it too. So when he was angry, they showed when he was in her room and his father was calling for him, and for whatever reason they don't go into further, he was angry about it. And he like balled his fist up like the Arthur meme. He was standing at the window, balled his fist up. She was sitting on her bed and balled her fist up too. So it's some type. So there's some sort of telepathic connection or something with them too. That's why I always say fuck Stephen King. I don't like him because he don't care if it's kids. Most of these scary things, they won't involve kids. Nah, he don't care. And back in the days, they used to always keep the kids out so it wouldn't be. And I think like Chucky was the first time we saw with this doll, but kids weren't being murdered still or weren't involved. It was, but he don't give a fuck. No. He like kids could get it too. What? Harry. Whatever. He just involves the kids and that fucks me up. But anyway. So I was like, I noticed that thing, and then the black guy has this weird moment where he goes to the place where the cop killed him, the warden killed himself. Right. And then he starts seeing snow, and then it was this, and then it was that. I thought he flashed back to when he was missing. Because then we saw, like, him standing behind him. So I thought he was having a flashback to when he was missing. Oh, okay. Which I think they really got to get more into that, or I don't know if that's going to unravel throughout the season as we go, because like you said, we see him and his father leave the house. The girl saw him and the father leave together. It was at night. The father doesn't come back. When they find the father, his like back is like broken. Something that this boy couldn't have done. But it seems like the town has always blamed him because he was found 11 days later. No signs of frostbite. No signs that he had been hurt, kidnapped, out in the cold. And then he's saying he can't remember.
He can't remember anything. And
so is it that the warden thinks that he's the devil in the town?
I wonder if he thinks they're somehow connected. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Maybe him and this kid are connected and somehow maybe they were born of the same horrible night. And maybe he's going to remember that this kid was there, this man was there, caused it, did something. But yeah, I'm with you. It's got to be some connection to that event this guy has that he had him locked up and he's telling him to ask for him.
Because it got to be something that he wanted him in. Yeah, and it's got to be. It's something. And I was like, so I was trying to, but I only got to the part where he actually goes to somebody's house and they let him in. But Mickey. So
are you interested or not? Do you think you're gonna?
Yeah, I think I just need to
watch it in the daytime. I do that with my scary stuff. I can't be watching it at night. I watch it when the daylight, and I got plenty of time to get it out my head and do something else.
Cause that was the thing. So I'm like, all right, I watched it, and I'm like, all right, I guess if this motherfucker come in my house, I would just try to kill him, or call somebody, like yell for my husband or my son, somebody, like we'll jump him, we'll do something. But I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep with this plan because then it's going to be in my head. Yeah. So usually I go to sleep and I have like Law and Order episodes. I know them line for line. So it's just like whatever. But I try to make sure that I don't watch anything funny when I'm going to sleep because I'll be so focused. I can't do it. But I'm like, I don't want this playing in my subconscious while I'm sleeping. So I need to
clear it out.
I need to make sure that I'm alert enough that I can watch the full episode and then turn it off.
And then have something
and then
else.
Go back to and then turn the TV on and go to sleep because it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
So if I don't cut it off on my own, it's just gonna keep playing. Right. And I'm like, I don't want this in. So I was like, okay. So I watched the episode and then last night, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just get up and watch the rest before we do the thing. But I went to go get crabs. So
yeah. Well, there's 3. They're doing it like just like they did. They put up the first 3. So you're good probably for a little while. You got time to watch
because it's not going to play until next. Because they kept saying every Wednesday.
Exactly, every Wednesday. But they've given us 3, so we're not going to get a new one for like the next 2 weeks. So
I wish. Listen, executives. I know y'all think y'all know what we want, and I know y'all think y'all trying to do this thing with the binge, but still to keep the shows going, so you don't have to find new content. Listen, we don't want this mix.
Nobody wants
We know how to do a binge on our own if we want to with a show that comes on like that. Like The Affair, while I like the show, I think it lends itself to a binge. Dietland, once I got caught up or whatever, I was more interested in every week. But some shows just lend them. Agents of the Shield, I love that show. But I just think it lends itself to it's better for a binge. So I let them pile up and then I binge. Yeah. I don't need you to do it for me. I got this.
That's why most people are just now, even to the point now where you don't need Showtime because I'd rather it just come up on Netflix and then I can just watch the whole season when I'm ready. I don't have to see week to week, wait for what's going to come. Why am I going to pay Showtime for that? I'll wait for Shameless season 8 to post up on Netflix. And then I can just watch all of it.
But you know what? That's the thing is that they're not letting all of the shows go there anymore. Right. Before they were doing it because Netflix was in competition. So it was like, all right, take the shows. Because now, I don't believe, did they put the last season of Shameless on?
Just.
I was about to say, so it seemed like the new
one is starting in September.
I think that's their new thing is that they're letting it sit a whole season.
Like they letting you sit a whole year.
You're not getting it until we give it in. But they don't do The Affair on Netflix. Right. You got to have the Showtime thing.
I wonder how that's determined. Because, I mean, like, is it do actors have to sign off on it? Right.
It's the I think that, in my opinion, when Shameless was out initially, like, because it's been around a long time, and Netflix been around a long time. And remember, Netflix was a whole different type of animal before. It wasn't creating content. It wasn't doing anything. And they like, all right, let's send the shows there. Then Netflix got fancy and bought Arrested Development and started saying, yeah, we competing now. And they like, ew, hold on now. Yeah. But I think that by that time, Shameless was a few seasons in already. Yeah. And people, they were getting new fans based on binging the old ones. And so it was like, okay.
Do I want to wait till it comes on, or do I want to pay for Showtime just so I'll be in the mix?
But I think that Showtime was like, okay, look, we are getting a benefit from this. Yeah. Because, like, if you're like me, and you binge all of them, and then the new season start, you want to watch the new season. Right. So then you like, okay, I'm going to pay for it.
I agree with you.
And I think that's where they kind of get it. I think The Affair is just a more mature show. What mature, I mean, for older people. Right. So that generation is not really into it. That's true. The generation who would watch it, they like, look, I don't even know how to fuck to work the Netflix until my kids come. Put my shit on so I can watch it.
That's like my mother with that damn Frankie and Grace.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
She loves that show, but it's like just like you said, put it on, and then when it starts playing, okay, now make the next one play. It's gonna play. Just leave it alone.
So yes, I think that's the gap. I love the affair, but like I say, I think you would have to be like more vested in. You would have to binge and catch up.
I
and
agree.
Everything.
You have to have been there from the beginning, or you have to be willing to invest.
Yeah, you gotta invest in the time because the story, even if you caught in now, like the story's okay, but you won't get all that backstory. And every once in a while, every few episodes, they try to throw something in so you could catch. This season it was. Sanaa Lathan is on the show now. She's the principal, and her son goes to the school where it's like mostly, I forgot, are they all like, it's a mix or whatever, but it's supposed to be a tough school. So he went and he flunked one grade. He was charged with plagiarism, and then Dominic, what's his name? He accused him of plagiarizing something, and he's like, oh, why? Because I'm black. He was like, well, actually, this isn't, and he's a really smart kid. So then they had a meeting, and he's like, some of these kids just need more guidance, and we got to focus on the homeland. He was like this bright kid I have in my class, he's excellent, and I hear he was suspended. I think it's a lack of nurture at home and this and that. So he's going in
sitting right there.
And the other teachers are looking at him like,
shut up.
And she was like, oh, continue on.
Tell me more.
And they was like, that's her son. So when they left the meeting, they like, that's her son. She flunked him. We weren't going to flunk him. She flunked him because she wanted him to learn a lesson.
Right.
So, but it's a scene with her son, and he's in the car with Dominic West and with, I forgot his name, but the girl's ex-husband character, and they're in the car together. And then the black kid, like, kind of runs down. He like, so let me get this straight. You had an affair with his wife, and then she got pregnant, and you thought you were the father, but then y'all got a divorce, but you were actually the father, and then your wife left you. So it was like one of those things, like, let's give you a rundown of the story, so if you haven't been watching, you could kind of get up. But they usually do that every season. One season, the women met in the bar, and it was like a little rundown of it again. Like, so if you joined later, but I don't think that, in my opinion, it just doesn't help because unless you know, like, I watched it, so I knew, like, oh, this is all of this stuff.
You're still not going to catch it.
You're not going to catch it. You're going to
catch all the nuances of it.
Yeah, so, but I love the affairs. So good.
Oh, Lord.
But, yeah, so I'm here for, what's the name? I'll probably try to watch another episode or two either because nothing come on tonight because Pose is over.
I know.
So, I don't know. I'll probably catch it. I'll probably finish up the episodes, but I am here for that show. That was really good.
Okay. All right. Go. Good pick.
Oh, I don't even have any picks this week. All right. What's your next show?
Did you catch up on Dietland? Or you watched this week's too?
Start talking about. Because I did.
Plum gets approached by Jennifer, apparently, and I can't tell if it was a kidnapping or she went willingly. I couldn't really tell. Like, they put drops in her eyes so her vision was all blurry, and it was crazy.
I saw when they kicked her out of the house.
Yeah, and she, you saw her meet up with the guy and what happened there?
I saw that, but
that she got raped. So let's talk about this. Was it a rape? Was it rape?
I'm not touching that.
Girl.
Charlemagne. In honor of Charlemagne the God, we would never have any rape talk. Oh my God. Let's talk about that. That was some awkward shit to watch.
Yes.
On the Breakfast Club. I was like,
I don't know how you have a daughter and you sit there and have this discussion, and because she can come back and listen to this later.
I think honestly, like everybody been saying, it's just damage control. I listened to the podcast last week, and I had to stop listening to the Brilliant Idiots because it was clear what was going on. I'm like, Star done drummed up this old shit, which I don't believe that he raped her. The court documents show it because he was never accused of even having sex with the girl. It was just that he was there, and that other people were doing stuff. And then he had some other things he was saying. So all this shit came up. I was like, starting shit. I think that everybody didn't think it was a big deal until it became a big deal.
Right.
and HBO was like, we got to think about this.
Yeah.
And that became the problem. Then it was all of this damage control, which has been awkward as fuck.
Ooh.
We heard you on Brilliant. You laughed and you joked about the whole thing of if it was rape and what it is and this and that. I don't think you meant any harm by it, but you gotta be different now. You can't be that person anymore.
I say it every time when they talk about, it's free speech. Yeah, it's free speach.
You just gotta deal with the consequences.
Until the person that's actually signing your check says it's not. And HBO is like, you still want that show, right? For the week, right? Yeah, you need to clean it up.
And they are working hard. I was just on one of the blogs and his lawyer got in touch with the lady and they got notarized letters.
They reopened the rape kit and they're saying his DNA wasn't found. That's what Baller Alert was saying.
No, I don't think that they reopened. She was trying to get the case reopened because she was saying, she was on Star Show and she was trying to say basically that her mother didn't want her to go through with it.
To file charges.
To go through with the charges.
Oh.
And to testify. She was like, her position was always that she was raped.
Okay.
But and I'm sure when they say they dug up, Charlamagne publicists, his lawyers,
his team,
him,
our team,
went and requested those court documents.
Yeah.
Got them and posted them like, look, they did everything, nothing was here, move on.
Right.
But then it's the whole interviews that he was doing.
Yeah.
Then apparently he said that he gave a girl Spanish fly and had sex with her. Then the lawyer putting up a notarized letter from her saying that it was consensual. Then it was, he said another time like, oh, I always wonder if the first time my wife and I had sex was that rape.
He asked her. And she said, according to what they initially said, she said yes. If you determine that I was not able to give consent fully, then she come on the radio, which I heard this week, and it was like, well, I lifted my hips and
I took off my under.
Well, wait a minute, was you awake or wasn't you? And then they had sex again in the morning when she was fully consenting and awake and
that's the story now
and
that they want us to believe. I said, listen, I saw this football player knock his wife the fuck out, drag her ass in the elevator, and the next morning that bitch stood side by side talking about, I don't believe he was abusing me and everything was fine.
Shall we go to the videotape?
These chicks are securing the bag. That is all they doing. Because once I saw that girl do that, I'm like, girl, just shut the fuck up. We saw the video.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He didn't push you. He knocked you the fuck out like you were a dude on the street and then drug you like you were garbage. And didn't she marry him right after that? It was like this whole thing because the NFL wanted to kick him out. Well, I think they thought it was going to go differently than it went. I think they thought, look, marry him, say whatever, say it was your fault, and then the NFL will have to bring him back. When he probably looking at that bitch like, you know, you getting the fuck out of here. You getting the fuck out of here, bitch. You getting the fuck out of here. Because she was a baby mama all the time.
And it's a shame to say it, like, but, like, you should want to be a good dude regardless. But when you have a daughter, I would think your first thought should be, if this was my daughter that someone was talking about, would I, you know what I mean? Would I be on the guy's side? Would I want a guy saying this about my daughter, having this out there? Do you want a guy defending himself on literally the back of your daughter saying, oh no, she participated and lifted her hips and let me do it? Do you really want that?
I think the whole thing with the wife is different because y'all married, she trying to secure the bag, making sure y'all don't fuck up that HBO money.
Yeah.
Y'all are in a whole different lifestyle now. She's a willing participant now in this bullshit. She's fine with it.
Right.
The young girl.
These other girls, yeah.
I think that honestly, you should have left the young girl story alone. I don't think it was necessary to talk about, but you wanted to tell your truth, and you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Now, the thing with the Spanish fly, I ain't touching that. I ain't touching that. Because you just, it's like, I think that honestly, and people, they don't realize that you are bigger than what, or you may be bigger than what you think right now. Mm-hmm. And so he probably never thought that it would be this culture where everything is Me Too, everything is this, everything is that, and it's not right, and this is... That's why I said, I am not touching those topics, because Lord knows if I ever get on or anywhere else, I do not want them pulling up anything saying,
oh, goodness.
Oh, she said that it's not rape. So I would, if we had time for Google, I would find the legal definition of rape, and anything outside of that is rape. And that's my story.
Well, no, I mean, for me, what happened to Plum was rape. To me, I thought it was, because it was, if not rape, it was a form of sexual assault, because there was a sex act involved, and she declined from the beginning. She changed her mind. She may have been, kissing, whatever, but she wasn't down for the ins and outs. She wasn't down for the plowing.
Well, from what I heard now, there's a such thing called outercourse.
Girl, wait.
Instead of intercourse.
You took the word right out of my mouth, because I was just about to say that based on what that we're hearing from this guy, that's what happened to Plum. It was outercourse. But she still was not a willing participant. If anybody could
explain to me what the fuck is outercourse, I would...
Oh, he said it was the safest sex possible.
Oh, okay.
If you're... I'm assuming this is a national story now.
Whom?
The kid with the outercourse. This has to be a national story.
A girl.
So he was a freshman, found a girl passed out by a put her by the dumpster, and had an action that led to his sexual relief, and was sentenced to 3 months probation, 3 months in jail, probation, blah, blah, blah. Kid. He's appealing his case and saying that what happened was actually outercourse, and he should not be registered as a sex offender. Yeah, that's his story.
Yeah, outercourse. Outercourse.
Back to TV.
I'm going to have outercourse.
A lot more better topics on TV, because it's too serious out there.
Outercourse.
I can't.
So I'm not touching no.
Well, so you guys catch up on this week's of Dietland, because Jennifer actually approached Plum. Mm-hmm. Jennifer, the group, the entity,
the terrorist,
actually approached Plum, and they do this whole trying to get her on their side
to be their spokesperson for what's in, because she got some celebrity now, and they want her to be. Yeah, they trying to get. So her on I guess side. Our theory before, because I was always of the mind that she was somehow involved with what was happening with the men. But she's totally not. It's two different storylines. They just not connected.
But it does appear, the way they're saying it, is that the Calliope house did have some sort of... they were together. Like, the people who started Jennifer may have been with Calliope house and then just got too radical for them.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Because that's what the lady told them.
And in this episode, Calliope house was the lady from Calliope house was talking to the girl who was burned, and who had actually met up with Plum, and she was saying in a different way. She was like, you kind of turned your back on her for one mistake. And the lady was like, no, we can't have that, putting us in exposure and da-da-da. So she is, just like what we were talking about, she's doing damage control, because now they're being linked with Jennifer directly. So she's trying to fall back from Plum, and the other girl is like, but you leaving her out there to go right to them. So it was a pretty good episode.
I don't know so.
Yeah.
We don't have that much scripted TV anymore.
No.
Sharp Objects.
But you're still not on Snowfall.
No, this is the second episode, right?
Wow, it was so good.
Is this the second?
Yes.
It's just the second one.
This is just the second one.
Because I just told my friend, I was like, I might have watched the two, but I didn't get around.
God, I'm enjoying this. I don't know if maybe it was the first season because it was slow to build up, getting, Franklin becoming this drug kingpin. But now, it's about to heat up. It's getting really good. You got to catch up on it.
Okay, so it's only 2 episodes, and then by the time we record, it'll be 3. I got it.
Okay.
I'll get it.
All right.
Because I ain't watching fucking Power. Fuck them. So
now I gotta watch it this week, but I didn't watch it because I knew we weren't gonna talk about it. Because Kendrick apparently has been wanting to make a cameo, and this week is the cameo he's making. So I love me some Kendrick.
So I guess you gotta.
So I gotta watch it for Kendrick and see who he's gonna play.
Because even my daughter, who loved Power, she was like, "I'm done with them." She was like, until they get some better writing. She said they need to bring back Tasha. Oh, we had this theory on how they should kill Kanan. They like, Kanan needs to go because the storyline, we got it. He's a grimy guy. There's nothing more to him.
Right.
Unless they're going to add something to him.
Another
they
layer
change it, and they haven't. So she was like, me and her were working on this script that we didn't even bother to write down last night. That they should have Tasha get like somebody from the salon or Lala or one of them to kind of set Kanan up, and then when they get him alone, and they're like, "Oh, let me go get something," and then she comes out the room with the gun, and she be the one who actually kills Kanan.
Okay.
And was like, that. And then Tommy, she was like, "I told y'all to handle
Stupid
it."
Mother. Could have had to put.
And then when Tommy and them come, like she calls Tommy and them like, "Y'all gotta help me clear this up and get out." And they're like, "Why did you do that? We told you not to do it." And she be like, "I told y'all to handle this." So now, and they all work together. So she then becomes the third person instead of Kanan. So
I like it.
That was our script.
Okay.
Call us. Stars. It's copywritten. Don't try it. Do not try it.
What about Queen Sugar? Did you watch it?
No.
The only reason I want to bring this up is because my girlfriend at work is gagging. So I know you haven't watched any of this season.
No, I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
But Queen Sugar is another episode. A show. Because it's like you'll have one episode and you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to watch it next week. But then when I watched it back to back, because it was like some of them you could check out, some of them you check back in, it was more flowing.
Since you are someone with siblings, I'm an only child. Mm-hmm. I was interested in your take on this Nova Remy.
I told you that when that shit first happened. That shit was weird.
So now they've told Charlie. And
because I did watch it because I did watch some of the shows because I remember they went on a boat together and she was writing a story or something. Right. And they kissed or did.
Yeah, they kissed this past week. And she finally told Charlie, like, I feel like it's something more there. I think they've only kissed this time. They've only kissed, which we know that's unusual for Nova, because Nova good for hopping on, hopping off. Mm-hmm. So Charlie was mad, but she told him, if you hurt my sister, I'll kill you. That was it. That was it.
Well, I guess if she like, he's not for me, so maybe he's for you.
I don't know. If he's dead to me, he's dead to my family. No, it's off. Unless it's like a fifth cousin once removed, way down the line. I don't really know her. I never see her at the cookout. Maybe. But you can't be messing with my sister. That's too close.
I think that it would be the situation. I would never do it because that's just weird to me. But I would think it was the situation. If I went out with a guy and that was it, and it was like, or like in Charlie instance, they were really working together, right? And then it kind of
and they didn't bone, right?
I don't think so, but I thought it was kind of looking like they were kind of having something, but it never really got there,
right?
He ain't for me. Go ahead, have at it.
I guess as long as we didn't bone. It can't be no bonage that occurred.
Yeah.
And then my sister is like, yeah, I want to tap that too. No.
That's
where I'll be like, come on.
That's how the Jacksons are, the brothers. that it's two of them that have kids with the same woman,
mm-hmm.
which is weird, and were married to. That's weird as fuck.
Yeah, your brother cousin.
Yeah, we ain't leaving this compound, so Tito, you looking good over there, brother. Come on.
I think it is actually Tito and Jermaine.
I think
it is Tito and Jermaine. It was because I think it's Barry Gordy's daughter or something. It's like close. It's close. Wasn't it Barry Gordy that discovered them? Who was the one that discovered them?
I don't think it's his daughter that has the babies by both of them, though.
It's somebody like that was a relation to the record company.
Really?
I believe so.
One of them was married to Barry Gordy's daughter, right? But I don't believe this is the lady.
That's not the lady they both had kids with. Okay. Maybe
I don't believe so because I couldn't see her being desperate enough to want to live on a compound with them. That she would do that because her father got money. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. We have to
let us know. Let us know out there if you know
just
the real story.
But we lazy. Fuck that. We're gonna keep speculating. Might have been Michael Jackson's daughter. I don't know.
Stop it. So the only other scripted thing I had was Cloak and Dagger, which I really loved this week.
Me too.
Just every week it's getting better and better.
This girl... No, you don't have polls to season finale.
We didn't talk about the finale at all? Okay.
We couldn't have because it was just a Sunday.
All right. Then, yeah, I got that.
Cloak and Dagger, this girl, Dagger deserves an award.
Yeah.
I think if this show, hopefully she can get nominated, but if this show wasn't on Freeform, this girl would be nominated.
Oh, I got juice about that too.
What?
So apparently, you're going to hate it, but Runaways is going to Freeform, which I think is good because that's
I
Marvel
think so
shows, and we can get a nice little teenage crossover. Maybe.
I think so too.
So that's the scoop on Twitter that Marvel Runaways is actually going to be on Freeform now too. And I think we're going to get some crossover episodes with that in Cloak and Dagger, which I would like.
I think it would be a good fit for Freeform in the direction they're going in because they're clearly going in. They don't want to be a family channel. They want to be for that middle college.
CW adjacent.
Yeah, they are really aiming for that audience. And I think that's a perfect fit for it.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, of course, get it up to speed because on Hulu it seemed more family.
Yeah.
They're just going to have to bring it up to the speed and get it there, but I could definitely see it there.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect fit for where they're going. And my peoples are coming back alone together. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Next month, right?
No, that's this week. The first is this week.
Okay.
Girl, the time go by so damn fast.
Oh my gosh.
So
this episode of Cloak and Dagger, we had apparently Dagger is getting high on her own supply now. She's stealing hopes, and then the feelings from the hopes are actually getting her high. And I don't know if this is the depression of seeing her having that talk with her dad on the phone, which really wasn't her dad, but it stirred up all those feelings for her. So now she's discovered this new darkness to her power. So whenever she touches people now, she sees their hopes. She gets a euphoric feeling from them.
From taking it though.
Yeah. But she takes whatever feeling that hope brings to them. If it's sexual gratification, if it was whatever, it's she can feel the same feeling that they get from it. And it's weird. So she did it too, but she can also pass it on apparently, because when she was in the kitchen with the Mira Hess girl, she actually gave her the feeling of what it would be like to lose her father, because that's what she said to her. She said, "Now you know what it feels like." And I was like,
I didn't think that's what she gave her. I thought it was that. I thought that she took her hopes away from her. Because we saw her, she goes in, and she actually does, and this girl was all about nature and all of this other shit, and then she's there, and she's trying to save and fix this thing. But one thing we did get, remember we kept saying, what was up with the people on the boat?
Right.
I mean, on whatever, where the father was at.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe that's just in his mind
or
whatever.
That at the end, yeah.
But we got that it's actually from the explosion that he created these zombie type people. But so then when the daughter was seeing something, she took it away. And then you remember after she comes out, she kills the bee. Yeah. And she like, now you know what it feels like to have all your hope. Basically to have your hopes and everything. Okay.
I thought she was like giving her feeling of losing her dad. But yeah. Okay.
No, it was that. But it seems like she's just been on this path of destruction.
And then we see she goes home and the damn assassin is there with the mom.
She is like, when she did that stuff, she bailed the guy out of jail. And it seemed like, but it's just the destructive behavior because, like, he was, when she was doing the crime, doing dirt and whatever, and it was like she wasn't getting enough of just taking people's hope. So she like, let me bring him back because that helped me feel a certain way. And then she went in and took his hope. Well, no, the guy actually stopped her.
But and she like, was what in are the you process doing? Of doing it. Yeah.
Which was weird that he came in and was like, and I saw what you're doing.
I wonder if that gave him insight. Because how did he know to come back there and get the money? I'm assuming it was him that came back there and robbed the church and stole from the statue.
I don't think it was that he came back. I think he just was tearing up or whatever because he was mad at her.
Oh, you think?
And then the money fell out and he like,
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, she got God.
Fuck her. Like, you don't even like me or whatever, so fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, man. What about Tyrone and this cop? Yo.
But wait.
When they was in that bar and New York was getting mollywopped by Connors, I said on Twitter, I was like, yo, Cloak Dagger is doing some new shit. Because they showing you this blue line don't give a
And they just was saying, all the other cops, I was like, they clearly are going to stop this. I mean, this man is beating the shit out of her. And they said right there like...
And it was men and women in there. And nobody said nothing to him. And he whooped her ass, kicked her in her stomach, punched her in her damn face. He was whopping her all through that bar. And I said, yo, Cloak and Dagger, y'all is on some new shit.
What? I was, yeah. But what about the voodoo girl?
Yeah, what was that about? Did she think she was going to be the person for the boy? I wonder. Because apparently they knew about this duo. And they knew that Tyrone was one of the duo.
But I don't think she thought she was it because she knew. But she had some
she
power
mad
too.
That it was the white girl though. She was like, you? It's you?
Yeah. Oh no, I think she was mad because she like, it's fucking you.
Okay.
Like,
well, yeah, we saw she had some power because when Dagger tried to see her thing, she was like, get out.
Yes, that's what. Oh, hold on, I yelled too loud. Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes I yell too loud and it makes the recording stop. But yes, that's the exact part I was talking about is when when she went inside her thing to go steal her hopes and she was like get out.
She was like, nope.
And she was like, and Dagger come out like, what the fuck? Yeah. So that's the part I was talking about, like her part in this also.
Yeah, it's not clear.
Because she's like, you're not stealing mine, girl.
Yeah, and well, we know that there's something else going on because the aunt, I think it's her aunt, is going around town making the markings, which is the initials of Roxanne. And she was going around town. She's doing her voodoo thing that they do so well, whatever. And it brings her back to Roxanne, and we see those same letters and the same symbols that she's drawing. So I'm like, what is all of this stemming from? Like, so we know Roxanne does this whole like, they're doing stuff in the water because we see all the visions that they keep seeing are people in the water. We saw when they first were in there, it was an oil tank. It was an oil rig that exploded. So are they going to say like this, something in nature, they've disturbed nature's balance with them causing these explosions and this explosions causing these people to become zombies? Like, is that what she's bringing this all around to?
No, it was something though. That part I was interested in. I thought that was really good, but I think that was the thing. She just was like, it's you.
Oh, she was
like,
so
because
mad.
They had, this is what, they second or third run-in together?
Yeah.
And she like, oh, you. But she has to, and I think she tells Tyrone, like, you got to get with her and you're the divine duo or whatever.
Right.
So next week, I believe that's when Tyrone approaches her and say, like, we really need to do this.
And that's the season finale.
I know.
10 episodes.
So good.
We got 10 episodes. So,
well, my daughter, she keeps saying they should swap out Tyrone for his brother on the next season because his acting is so bad.
I wonder if this is his first job. Maybe he's got to do. Maybe he'll get a little coach over over the break and get a little.
Well, listen.
I mean, he's my kid. He's my guy now. I want him. But I just want him to get a little bit better.
Coach. But let me tell you, that girl is not missing a mother-loving beat. She is on it all.
And I like this thing with him and the mom. Like, I liked when they had the whole... Well, and the dad, too. When, he thought the whole thing was going to, pan out with the cop going to jail and... the mother's still not happy and the father's still not happy and he don't understand, like, why aren't y'all ecstatic? What I've been telling you is true, but they already know the culture of the town, the culture of the police. They know it ain't going to get no further.
Well, the mother sits him down and tells him, she's like, listen, the reason why, she said, it's not that I didn't believe you, but what are we going to do? And then they would have came after you.
Exactly.
She was like, I couldn't take... that they basically, it's true.
This cop has actually turned it around on him, apparently, and they're going to put Fuchs' death on Tyrone.
And she's like, that's why I didn't want... She said, it's not that, wasn't it? But now it seems like the mother is coming around to his side because she has something... Does she work for Roxanne? Or
she does public relations.
For them.
Yeah.
And she's kind of looking at
them. I don't know if it's for them or if it's for the city, but Roxanne is so involved in everything that she might as well be working for them too, probably. But I don't know if it's exactly for them. But it might be.
Because it seemed like she's like, okay, I'm like, I can't let this slide.
And I can't let this... I know the skeletons and where they're buried, but... It's my family too. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, I thought this was a really good episode. That girl is killing everything.
Yeah,
she is killing it. So hopefully she go to rehab for stealing people hope.
Shut up. So we gotta talk about Pose.
Yes, the category is finale realness.
Pray tell, you did my heart so good this episode. You was like my African Jiminy Cricket in your outfit. I just loved it. And I loved Elektra and her godmother / bow tie / I'm your present that keeps on giving. Her big ass bow. I don't know what it was, but I love the look. I was here for the whole fucking episode.
Girl.
The whole episode.
I was watching it. I was clapping. I was yelling. I mean, they could not have done anything better, in my opinion.
No.
It was just great.
It gave you everything you wanted, and it's like, you end on a high note. Like, I don't know if they didn't know they were getting a second season when they did this, but that was just how it should have ended.
I really, honestly don't think they believed that they were going to get this far because I'm always trying to be on Twitter with Pose. And they like, oh, thank y'all so much for supporting. And they responding to everybody who would tweet. I'm like, I don't think they thought it was going to go this way. Let me tell you, I live for that shit. That episode from Blanca chasing down Elektra and finding her. And we had saw this part a kind of before. But Elektra wasn't as receptive. And when she finds her, she's like, you're still my mother. She's like, mother, you're coming home with me. And she got the boys together.
And Elektra trying to be all bougie, like, no, bitch. You stay on the floor. Ain't nobody changing these curtains. You want to paint. You got to buy it and do it.
She was like, well, at least the boys can paint for me. I mean, it was, but I don't know. Well, because you're not married, you have your, but it's just like when my mother comes to my house.
Right.
And Blanca was, I think she was like a respectful daughter to her. Like, look, Ma, you could do it, but cut your shit a little bit.
I'm giving you the room.
But you gotta be like, but my mother will come over and be the same, like, oh, you want to just leave this up? Oh, the kids need to do that. I thought I said, it's just like that. And then she's like, well, what am I going to do for work or whatever? And then she's like, oh, great, we're going to lunch. She's like, no, you're applying for a job. And Blanca, which they have been telling the story, but I don't think most of us was kind of paying attention to what she was doing. with this whole thing of passing. And I think that it kind of hit home in that scene. For me, it hit home in that scene because Blanca has always... Electra was first shading her with, you can't pass. I can go on 5th Avenue and look like the whitest one. And I would get treated this way. And I'm like, what's their fascination with white? But that wasn't it. It was of looking like a woman. And whereas Blanca, for them, it still has the hard look. She's not feminine. And then when Electra goes into the restaurant, no, the lady is not looking at her crazy. She's like, oh, okay, great. You want a job?
Yeah.
And I think that's what Blanca said. Like, you have more opportunities because of the way you look. Those opportunities aren't there for me.
Right.
Take advantage of them. But I don't know. For me, just that scene when she took her in the restaurant for the job and the lady extended her hand, it hit home. Like, oh, now I see what she means.
Right.
And that scene, and then when they cut and Pray Tell is on his date and she's there hosting and she is reading those people. First of all, you do not have reservations and we do not cater to the bridge and tunnel clientele in this restaurant. And I was like, yes, I am living
y'all
for
got the perfect
one.
Perfect one, because that was her whole thing. Yes, shading somebody at a restaurant. What? That's just what you meant to do in life, Electra.
And then that scene with her and the boys and everything about the Albie show, she was like, oh, I have the cassette tape.
Yes.
You have to let them go, Blanca. That is typical mother shit, grandmother shit. That is just how they are. Like, let me raise my kids, please.
Exactly.
And she was like, oh, no, you must let him go. Yeah. You must not have seen the latest Albie Shore video. And she's like, I have to... I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
Then, when she comes to the ball,
honey,
and like
when she read the House
Candy
of
and Ferocity,
what was the former House of Ferocity?
She was like,
Phil,
Blanca, when they did that thing with Blanca, oh, you need to go shave. It was cutting her up and this and that. She was like, Blanca, you're beautiful, this and that, but let me handle them. She went out there. She was like, Aphrodite, I have no problems with you. You're free to stay or you'll be with the carnage or get carried away with the carnage. No, you're free to leave or get carried away. And went in. I was like,
hell.
Yeah.
And the whole time the boy is standing there. He's like, y'all ain't got nothing to say.
Yes. I was like,
pick your face up.
Oh my God. It was just good. It was good, more good. Only thing that was bad was Blanca's dress. That was the only bad part about this show.
I agree. I thought it was like you got Electra looking like a fairy godmother, and you come out with Pepto Pink. Like,
she looked like homely, matronly. She looked like it was like, oh my God. Then we had Angel and her boo came back, but then she like, nope, I don't want you back. And he like, we can move to Staten Island. And she like, nah, done with you. But then the wife let him back home and was like, we just gonna be together, but not be together.
Cracked me up. I'm gonna go to Montclair State.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, shout it out.
I mean, this episode could not have been better. I literally, and on Twitter I put, guess who about to watch this finale again? Just after I finished. Yeah. And watched it again. Yeah. It was just so great.
Yeah.
Now, my only concern is this. The second season is coming up.
How do they top it?
No, not to top it, but we've seen this with so many shows that we love. Is that the first season is great. We love it. We like, okay, come back with that. Mm-hmm. And then the budget opens, and then we get everybody and their mama writing and all of this bullshit and you're like, okay.
I think if they do like they've done, they keep the writers close. People who this is their story. You got Janet Mock. You got all these other LGBTQ, MNOP, whatever, that want this opportunity. If you keep this story being told by the people who live it, I could see them staying on the same path.
But how do you, so my thing is this, but how would you be able to do that when now they're going to open up the budget And now that you're a moneymaker, people are going to be in the kitchen. Before, they probably gave you a back room, like, go do what you want. Here, take $5 million, get the fuck out of here. Show us when you finish.
Right.
And left them alone. Like, we don't care.
Right.
Then y'all come with this. It's like, oh, hold on, come in the big room. Yeah. Come here, let's talk, let's do that. We've seen it with show after show. Empire was one of those shows that the first season I loved, and I think Fox gave them that show as their affirmative action for the year. Because we saw they were giving everybody a show, then just cancel it or put them on at 12 o'clock at night. I think it was their affirmative action. Like, okay, we got to get one black show every year. Every season. Somebody black. Okay. Or who is that? Lee Daniel? Okay, let him do that shit. Go ahead. And I thought nobody would be tuning in. Yeah. And then it took off. Yeah. Then the second season was really bad. And it, from my understanding, it's just been on a decline ever since.
I mean, know. I think, but see, I don't know, because since, even though it posed, I mean, even on HBO Showtime, there's never been this story. There's been the parentheses of the story, the outliers, but never the meat, the middle of it. And I mean, even with opening up the checkbook, okay, so maybe we'll see celebrity appearances, but we know that there were celebrities that were going to these balls and trying to hide and steal. So I want to see you showing the celebrities going there and then going on to Fifth Avenue and making their videos and having stolen from the ball.
I don't like, because you know what? I think that it can also, even just the celebrity appearances, which we saw on Empire, with every celebrity who just needs something is on the show, and it's like it takes away, because you gotta fit them in somehow, whether or not they fit. Now I would like to see, maybe it's like Madonna choreographer or somebody like that, or Madonna is like in the back with a hood or something, but it's not Madonna, it's like an image of her, and you like, and people like, is that her, or something like that, or maybe it's just her choreographer is there, and then you see the video and you like, that bitch.
I was just about to say, just you see the reaction from the community of seeing the appropriation of their culture. Yeah,
I would like something more like that, but I'm sorry. And then when you say HBO, I immediately thought of The Wire. Remember, we loved the first season. Couldn't get enough of the shit. Then the second season, we like, what the fuck? Where these white people come? What are y'all doing? Yeah. And then the third season, they like, oh, y'all don't want that. Let's go back. And I'm just really concerned, because that now, I don't believe that as many people were in on polls, but trust me, it's going to be. End, they're going to be for the awards and everything. The word is going to get around, because I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and the fucking polls came up. I mean, it's going to start spreading, and people will get into it later. Yeah. I think that as it gets, that's my only concern. That as it goes that way,
I think that's a valid concern.
That. Don't let these people in. Yeah. Keep it the way you've been doing it. Yeah. Keep it worked. Don't. Even if you gotta tell them, no. We got enough money. Because with the money, with the checkbook come the strings. Right. And then, whereas we might have let you show these AIDS results, or we might have let you show them kissing, or we might have let you show this whole thing about the sex things, about him having a wanker and what he does with it and what he doesn't do. We might have been okay with that before. But now, do you really think that's necessary? Do you think this is necessary? Can we get more of the white people in? Yeah. Can we do... And then it strips away what we like.
I know what you're saying.
I'm really concerned. Please leave my show alone. I ain't got the time.
Well, what do you think, like, logistics, what do you think they stick with? We come right back at the very exact moment after the Mother of the Year, or do you think we get a time jump?
I wouldn't mind either one, honestly. They could say, look, show us like they've been going on with their lives, and then go to where they at. Yeah. As far as the time thing, that's your thing. I really don't care if it's summer, spring, and then the next episode is winter.
Because remember, we were talking about, we want to get to Magic Johnson. We want to get to those things.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, based on where we ended with our characters, do you want to come back in a second season and see them having become sick? Do you want to see them still living and, you know, trying to navigate this HIV positive life through the 80s? Like, that's what I'm asking. Like, where do you
I want to
think?
see it all. I want to see however these writers who have seen it, wherever they think Pray Tell going to be at in his life, where Blanca going to be at, I think they, in order to tell this story, I think they're going to have to go through all of the things. Right. I definitely, before they end the show or however it's going to work, I need that magic part because I think it was a changing point. And I need to see how they deal with that. I want to see them with the whole thing about children and adopting and everything. Right. Where now we see a gay couple, we like, oh, well, y'all going to have kids, and nobody even think twice about saying it because it's like, this is an option. That's what married people have kids. But back then, it was like, really, how we gonna get a kid? And I gotta hide that I'm gay and I'm doing it
to the current with Trump and trans people in the military and all that stuff.
I think they got
so much meat. Even now, they don't have to. They could jump every 5 years because I don't want it to get stale. So I don't want to see I would like to see maybe a 5-year jump where it's like, okay, now we're really in the throes of this crisis, and then people are still dying, but it's becoming more of there's AIDS blankets going around and traveling the country.
But that would come after magic.
The AIDS blankets and stuff like that. I thought that was.
I think that whole thing from my understanding, that magic was. It was Magic Case that kind of pushed this forward. If it was somebody else, I can't. If it was somebody, a celebrity.
Well, the one I remember before Magic was the kid that got it with the transfusion. I can't remember his name, but he was a young kid and he got a blood transfusion and he became HIV positive. I believe that was before Magic.
So maybe I can't remember. Honestly,
I would like to. I
can't remember anybody.
All these milestones. I want them to hit all these milestones. So, but I'm just saying, I don't think we need. Okay, that was 80. That was 78. Say, I don't think we need 79 at the ball. Were they in the 80s?
I thought they were in the 80s.
Okay,
but
so
I don't
need 85 and then 86 and you know what I mean? Show me then the next big phase in ball culture that happens. And then what's going on in the outside world after that?
I was about to say, because then the other thing I want to see with the Bulls is that we saw that it wasn't even any money involved. And that now we watch My House and all of them, so we know people make money on these things. And then did that change the game? Yeah. If it did, how did that change?
When Madonna's choreographer, when did that jump happen? And was the ball culture mad about it?
But that was early 90s.
So
late 80s. Vogue is early 90s.
So if they're in the 80s, then that's the next thing I think I want to see.
So I guess
when does that happen?
I guess that's the thing. I don't really care about the actual times, but I'm more focused on the story. If the story needs to continue in this era, I don't care how y'all, what day y'all call it. I don't care if one episode's fucking snowing and the next day y'all on a beach. I could care less. Tell me this story.
No, I want this story. I like the way they did it with the timing of it. I just wonder what's going to happen with the next.
They definitely got to Madonna. I think Madonna is one of the big things that they have to touch on, and I believe the whole big thing really with Madonna was this MTV performance. Right. I mean, that's something that has to come out. Did she pay homage to the ball culture and to the gay, or was it that they felt a different way about it? How did it come about? That's why I said I would love to see somebody's just in the thing, they're observing, and then they go to the balcony
and watching it.
Or if it's even Damon and he's like, hey, I got a job with this one, and he or he goes in audition and he does it, and they like, hey, we like that. Can you? And then they come on after y'all gotta hire me for the show. And they come after Damon how could you let them, do that? Yeah. I want this story. I want to hear it. However, I just want them to be the one telling me their story.
Exactly.
I think that's really my concern.
as long as they stick with that formula, we gonna love what they put out.
I love that show.
It was good. I wanted some drama though. I wanted Damon and whatchamacallit to not make it, and Like, I wanted it to be where one of them made it and one of them didn't, and then they had to make that decision.
I guess that's why they didn't do it. Yeah. Because that's what, of course, watching it, I was like, oh, one is not going to make it, or Ricky's going to make it, and Damon's not going to make it. But he's
I wanted Damon to make it and Ricky not, and then it's like,
I told you I couldn't make it.
Choose between the school and I'll be sure.
But did you not? So you didn't think the twist of them actually saying, look, both of them made it, both of them have the opportunity, but now the drama, quotes, is that
him giving it up.
Either you have to choose between this or whatever. I didn't agree with Blanca on her position that she took, because I thought that it's an opportunity that he could have just said, listen, went to the school, I have an opportunity to go on tour, it's local, I'll be back, and I'm sure it would have been okay. Because who's to say that when he finishes school, anybody want? I mean, you can't say that. Right. So I just didn't agree with her position on it. Then she tried to soften it up and like, oh, it's your decision to make. Yeah. But it was like, yeah, you were pretty forceful with what you wanted him to do.
But I thought, just like what you said earlier with Electra, I'm like, it's a typical mom thing to me. Whereas, no, I want you to finish school. I want you to go on and finish this. And those opportunities will come. And in your kid's head, you're always like, but no, I want this. I don't know that the opportunity is going to come. The opportunity is here now. And I want this to be what I choose. So I thought that was kind of typical of what most moms would say.
But I thought
and then try to say at the end, but it's your decision. Whatever you decide, I'll support you. Lies you tell. Lies.
That's what I think they tried to do, to switch up with the drama. That was the drama. But y'all were good. I love y'all. Love it. Let's get the reality. Did you watch Love and Hip Hop?
No. I said I wanted all you. Did I watch a little bit of it? I'm trying to remember.
But I thought we agreed as a podcast that I know you did. Hollywood was okay.
I was trying. I tried. I do remember. Remind me of who's on there. Did I see Ray J and the wife? And the mama was sitting on the couch, angry with the wife about spreading something about Brandy. Okay, so I tried. See, I tried a little bit.
But I thought we agreed that
you can't do them, so I just can't.
I don't know why. And I was talking about to somebody else. I was like, I don't know why, but I found Hollywood to be so entertaining. I'm like, Atlanta, I didn't even.
I'll be caught up for next week.
New York, I don't find to be that entertaining that much. But I think they catch us at a good time.
I did see it because I saw, what's his name? A1
and K Michelle.
And K Michelle. And then his wife. Why does she look like Black China now, though? Is that the hair? Is it the hair? That's just giving me Black China for his wife?
I was about to say, because she already had the surgery. When she came on, she looked like that.
Really? Oh, God.
She had that surgery.
She looked so much like Black China to me now. But when they was outside talking, and the two of them, I was just like, oh, Lord.
I was like, yeah.
So K Michelle told she told her that she couldn't come on tour with her or something?
No, she said she was late.
And wouldn't let her participate in the video.
No, she let her do it. She was like, she just was late. She was like, she's spoiled, and I'm going to tell her about herself and this and this and that. But I think K Michelle was just making fake drama. Because clearly Lyrica and A1 didn't get the memo that she's trying to create this fake storyline. Because Lyrica was like, you told me 3 days before.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? And
I'm just here for the surgery undoing. Because when is that coming?
What I'm not the fuck here for is K Michelle talking about, y'all know I never lied to you while she's sitting there with a whole damn new face. And I don't know about you, but I used to watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I remember this girl coming on there talking about that she didn't have butt shots, that her butt was always big. You could ask anybody in college, and now she's removing butt shots. Well, where did the butt shots come from if you never got them?
And she wasn't getting like the angel ones. She was getting the down in the basement ones, right?
I don't know where she got those from. But I just was like, I mean, come on, you just so fake. And I think that now, I don't think that had her last album or two not flopped, I don't think they could have got her back on the show.
Okay.
I think the album's flopping, as A1 said, and she was like, but you worked on them.
I remember. I saw that. part.
I think that he was right. He said, yeah, but it's you. You're blackballed and nobody likes you.
Yeah.
And this is not a story. This is not the first time we heard that story. I about to say, because
isn't that what Idris was telling us too?
Who?
Idris Elba, when he worked on her album or something?
I think it was her, but then Memphis said the same thing. It was like, it's her attitude that she could sing. She's very talented, but nobody wants to work with her because of her attitude.
Yeah.
And as we quickly are seeing now, it seems to be true because
so
again,
she's gonna get all this stuff undone on the show. She hasn't had it undone yet on the show.
On the show, she's gonna get the butt things out.
Okay, but she did the face thing already.
The face,
the nose is definitely different.
Yeah, the face is. But that's the thing I didn't understand when she was on Instagram and she's going through this whole campaign about getting her butt. I'm like, so you just not gonna acknowledge you got a whole new fucking face? Right. So, cause when I first saw it, I'm like, well, why the fuck we care? This girl wanna get her butt shots out? Who the fuck is she? Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh, it's K Michelle. I was like, so I gotta act like I don't see that you got this whole new face and just listen that you only have something. I don't know what I
said about her on Twitter, but I'm blocked.
Oh, girl.
Look, I need to know so I could like post it as my hashtag. But yeah,
she got this whole new face, and then you want to keep. I'm like,
and so now, Princess, is that her name? Princess.
She is so funny.
Princess. She telling people that Brandy is carrying the baby for her.
No, Moniece said it for what reason I fucking don't know. But Moniece is crazy as shit too, cause
she got back to Brandy's mama.
Yeah, well, it was on the internet, and then she said to Moniece, she said, when you drop that demon seed you're carrying, then I will. I'm like, you can't call people babies demon seeds. Oh, and she gave zero fucks about it. Like, yeah, I don't care. Oh, so I'm like, this. I don't know why. I found Love and Hip Hop Hollywood just to be entertained. I really do.
I'm gonna watch it just for you.
I don't think Hazel E is there anymore, and Masika. They were really entertaining too. But yeah. I think they just
Hazel E. Ever since that damn,
that's what everybody keeps saying. They be like, when Hazel E. going to come out and say, "Pop that pussy, pop that pussy, pop this booty."
For Harriet, pop it for Harriet. I love that part. She said, "Tell Harriet Tubman that you want to pop that pussy."
Yo,
it's
Alana.
Not funny, but it is funny.
Alana's stupid. Ivana, whatever.
Tell Harriet Tubman you want to pop that pussy. It's like, oh, well, that's sad.
Oh my God. Well, let's move to New York,
girl.
What Bethany, the F-U-C-K? I was sitting here. I'm like, okay, Carol and Bethany are having a sit down, and then I kept cutting my head off. I'm like,
yo,
and then they go, and I'm like,
Drunk Dorinda, she was on a mule, but Drunk Dorinda showed up. We knew she was coming. Dorinda,
I'm like, what is going on?
It was just so bad. Like when you see a friend, and I'm like, wait, no, you see me, you want to be like, wait, no, don't do that. You don't want to do that. And she's just like, don't tell me what to do. And she's like, go get a felony. I'm like, wait. Why are we doing this? You was just lighting candles with this bitch.
I was like, but then I'm looking at Bethany, and it just, but I get the whole scene for me. It was funny because it was like Bethany and Carol were having this powwow, but they're not acknowledging that these two are arguing and about to fight on the other end of the table.
What do you say?
And then Tinsley is like,
well, we know oh my God, she's so stupid. So poor thing.
I was like,
but what do you say? Because Bethany just blacked out on her for even looking in a direction. I'm not having this conversation in front of everybody. No, you are. Because we're all sitting at fucking dinner and y'all are talking about it. So now we can't even look in the direction of the conversation at the dinner table?
I think that she was saying more so that she thought like Tinsley was going to be chiming in. And apparently, for some strange reason, I didn't think the table was this fucking big where everybody couldn't hear.
It was like 12 people.
Yeah, so apparently they had some expectation of privacy, or they were having some privacy, because Dorinda and Luann are about to fucking fight. And I'm like, how big is this table that y'all don't see them down there about to fight?
Oh, God. the beginning gave me flashbacks. I'm assuming you've been watching New York since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So remember when they went on vacation with Kelly Ben Simone and that bitch went crazy and Bethany kept calling it Scary Island?
Oh, yes. That was the model girl.
This kept giving me Scary Island when Bethany is walking through the kitchen and she's like, I don't know. I'm just having a breakdown and I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, yo, this is Ben Simone, Scary Island.
That shit was weird. I was like.
And then she's like, I just need to call Dennis. I'm like, what my Dennis going to do?
Well, she told me,
send your own plane.
Wait, look. She like, send a plane. Not, give me a plane ticket.
Oh,
send a plane.
Honey.
I said, let me tell you. That is code for, yeah, my money long as fuck.
I don't need to wait for Bravo's plane. Send my plane.
Not even a ticket. A plane. You know what to do. Like.
So, I don't know. Sonya's starting to be a little, I don't like it. A little with the going back and forth between, like, she's trying to be the mediator, I guess.
I didn't think that. I thought that, honestly, I think that, and we see Carol is leaving.
Yeah, she announced this week that she's leaving.
But
I'm okay with that.
What she kind of try to hint at is that it's not of my own free will. Is that Bethany doesn't want me there. This is the Bethany show. And so now I'm gone.
Yeah, because she said I'm leaving with great friends and frenemies.
And she said, and because I read the thing, she was like, everybody knows that this is Bethany's show.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want me there. So I'm gone. What I was going to say is that it seemed like they were kind of tiptoeing around talking about Bethany. Like, and now I see why when Carol says that. Because they were all clearly talking about her downstairs. But they were saying it in like real snide ways. Like, fuck her. But then when she came, it wasn't fuck her.
Mm-hmm. And at the clothing store,
yeah,
you were not with. You couldn't have thought you was whispering, because the bitch is literally not standing 10 feet from you, looking you straight in your face as y'all are having this conversation about her.
Mm-hmm.
We all got mics on. We all are projecting and speaking clearly, so the mic can pick it up. Like, I can hear you, and then you're like, "Oh, whose stuff is all this? It's mine."
I think that's what it was. Now that she said it, it made sense because I'm like, wait, they down here talking about her like she a dog. They like, let's leave her. I mean, just the whole typical mean girl. Like, well, not that they mean girls, because Bethany not that type of person to be in a mean girl situation. But it was like, fuck her.
Yeah.
But then when she was around, it wasn't really like, fuck her. And I'm like, well, why y'all got different energy now that she here?
Exactly.
Like, fuck her.
Yeah.
Everybody their own person. But I think that, as we've all said, like, the tables have turned. Bethany is very, very wealthy. Whereas a lot of the women on the show now are not as wealthy as before. Mm-hmm. Luann had to marry a whole man to get a place to stay.
Shut up.
Ramona is probably doing well, but not as well as before, because we heard her say, like, before I didn't have to work.
Yeah. And
now she needs the money. Sonia, we know, is broke. Well, it's true, right? Like, she's doing anything to try to get money.
It's true.
Carol, I don't know what the fuck she was doing.
I was just about to say, I don't know what she
does for money.
Writing, is she not?
Wow.
She's so busy.
But not busy. But then we kind of saw when Bethany was like, oh, was I a user?
Whoa,
when
that was
you
some
went
receipts,
on a trip
honey.
with me to the Bahamas. Was I a user?
Bravo.
And they had all the pictures.
I was like, okay, Bethany, did you send them from that? Those weren't Instagram photos. You sent them from the private collection.
She was like, when I was a
from
user,
the non-Bravo phone.
Adam, I took y'all to here, and then when you stayed at my house in the Hamptons, and then when I took you there, and I must have missed that with someone else. Was it Sonia or Ramona? Somebody had called her like the permanent house guest or whatever.
That was another episode, but yeah,
alluding that this is what she does. Mm-hmm. She gets friends with people, and then she lives their life based on that. Like, so all the vacations, she doesn't have money for the vacations and all of this, and she gets it from who she's friends with. But Bethany clearly pulled out those receipts and was like, so was I a user then? When did I become this user?
It was
And I was like, I'm gonna stick to my story. I really think that the whole thing with her and Bethany is that she really cared for Adam. She was really in love with him. She really thought it was something. And when Bethany said something bad about him, it pissed her off. Right. And she is trying to go to bat for Adam, who is actually now engaged. Yeah. Which I don't understand. What's the point? I would have been going to bat for him while I was with him. Maybe. But you put me on you put me on a private plane to handle. I might not have to go to bat.
Bethany said it and she stand by it.
That's it. She said what the fuck she said. Okay? Find your ass. Fine. And I would have moved on. But once he moved on very, very quickly. Yeah. And then got engaged, which means that this ain't happening no more. I would have been like, Bethany, you were right about this motherfucker. Can we go on a vacation? Can we go back to Greece? Look, I'm about to say, can we go on a vacation so I can clear my mind?
Forget all my troubles.
Call Dennis for a plane so we can go. And I'm going to tell you how right about this motherfucker you are. Girl. But it seemed like she stood on this horse and now, which it may just be that she doesn't want to admit that, look, you were right.
What do they always say? Like, are you sure this the hill you want to die on?
Yeah, like, and it seemed like she really picked it because she just didn't want to admit it. That Adam, he was a manipulator and he was a user. Yeah. It's just so happened that this lasted 3 years of it. Right. But because once Bethany started pulling up the receipts, you're like, oh, so he was just traveling on Bethany's dime. Exactly. So
wasn't even on Carol's dime.
But if you're living his life and you're not paying for it, and then you're like, hey, so what may seem to us like, oh, if it's 3 years, it got to be a real relationship, because who would? But it may not have been, because if it's like, okay, we going on vacation this time, we're on vacation about 4 months out of the year, then you go this, then it may not have been, but clearly it was something, because when they broke up, however she wants us to believe this, I can't. She just didn't seem like she was in the same position as he was. Yeah. So that was the thing with me. But I don't know if I would have rode that horse. I would have let that motherfucker go.
Shot that horse and sent it to the glue factory.
So
no, we done.
But I didn't like what Carol did with Sonia, and I think Bethany didn't like it either, because while Sonia kind of saw it afterwards when she's sitting at the table and she was like, "Oh, are those the earrings that Carol bought you?" And they're like, Carol bought somebody earrings? And she's like, oh, fuck. And so it seemed like she caught on at that point. And Bethany is like, I know what you're doing with her. Mm-hmm. And it's not right. Mm-hmm. Not that Bethany is that high a standard or whatever, but she like, you want to turn everybody against me. Which now, knowing afterwards what happened, I think it may have been like, look, if I could get you, and you not to film with Bethany, they're going to do something. Yeah. Because they need more of us than they need just her. Mm-hmm. But if it's only one of us, then... Bye. Exactly, I'm going to go. But if I could convince you, and you to not film with her anymore. Mm-hmm. And we've seen this on, I think Atlanta is the first one that kind of started pushing these issues. Yeah. That like I'm not going to film, and I'm not going to film her. So then it's like, okay, well now we got to get rid of her. Right. I think it was more so of that. Yeah. I don't think she was using Sonia to convince her or to mediate or anything. I thought it was more like, okay, you still on her side. Mm-hmm. All these other bitches don't really like her. And I believe on Housewives one time we saw where it was text messages between the groups like, don't film with her, don't film with her. And I think, like, okay, everybody confirmed that if I, like, that they would be down to do this. Mm-hmm. So that's probably another reason why they were kicking her back in, like, yeah, bitch, you're going to be going next season. And they like, okay, but to me, honestly, if I'm being honest, I need Bethany, Sonia, and Ramona. Right. Everybody else is expendable for me.
Right.
I like Tinsley. I like Dorinda. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I could probably get rid of Ramona and bring in Dorinda. Yeah. So, I really need them. However, if they could not convince Dorinda, and I think that might have been a holdout too, because she likes Bethany. Mm-hmm. But if they couldn't, I could go for Bethany and Sonia all fucking day, yo.
Girl.
I mean...
Bring back... I mean...
And then just start building.
Not for nothing. I mean, R.I.P. What you doing, Jill Zarin?
Exactly.
Where you at? Because I cut 2 or 3 of these bitches if that means we get your check and you can come back. I'm okay with that.
And that's how I'm like, okay, so y'all could build the cast back around Sonya and what's her name. So I think that's really where a lot of this came from. Dorinda and Luann with this argument on the other end of the table, though, was like...
It was like you wanted to watch Carol and Bethany, but you was like, what? Are they going to fight? When I heard the glass break, I said, oh shit, somebody about to get cut.
I should have recorded you doing that, because I don't know why, but that's the same movement I was doing watching the TV, like looking down, like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah, because you really looking... Because the cameraman, I don't know if it was only 1 or 2, but even he kept like, wait, I can't watch them because there's some shit popping off down here. Mm-hmm. And it was so uncomfortable. Like, Dorinda, Boo Boo Love, I hope you're watching these episodes. I hope they've done something in between. I like a drink. I like more than one drink. You got to dial it back. Mm-hmm. You get dangerously drunk. Mm-hmm. And if every time you get this way, you calling people out their names and ready to fight, girl, I thought I was at a bad black cookout. When I heard that glass break, I said, oh shit, somebody about to get stabbed.
I think Bethany honestly hit the nail on the head when she said, you know what, we give Sonya a lot of shit, but we never called Dorinda on anything. And I think that when you look back, because it's like, Dorinda been pretty fucked up before, but it's always the other person, and they kind of turn it around and never focus. I don't believe until that dinner with Bethany and her friends, and she went after her friend. Mm-hmm. I think that was like when Bethany was like...
You went back through your memory and was like, this has happened before.
Yeah, you do this. Mm-hmm. And I just never did anything or paid attention, because maybe you did it to Sonya. And it's like, well, Sonya probably did something to deserve it. And then maybe it was Ramona. And you like, well, fuck Ramona. And then when you start to look, you like, oh no, but then when they has a problem.
And like, Bravo, you are so sneaky, because you were so hard on Dorinda. Was like, she was very supportive, and Luann called her when she first came out of rehab, and I was lighting candles for you, boo boo. And no, you good. I want to help you with your cabaret. And the minute I get some good Ramona Singer Pinot Grigio in me, you like, are all
at least I don't have a felony. I don't have a mug shot.
And then you always see her that's just alcoholism to, like, if you wrote a textbook, because then the next minute you're low. And you're regretting what you just did, and you're thinking about your actions. And Countess is sober as a monk in there, mad. Lord, if we ain't never seen Countess fight, she was ready to fight Dorinda right there.
I know, and I think,
then she was crying, and that's her friend. When somebody make you so mad that you want to cry, because she was really hurt at what she said.
And I was about to say, I didn't like that Dorinda did that, because it was either you feel this way or you don't. And if you only feel this way because now I'm calling you out, then that's a problem. And it may have just been that Luann finally, for the first time, is not pissy drunk, and she's like, oh shit, you fucked up. So she's able to see it now and like, hey, maybe you want to slow down a little bit. And then I thought that it was telling, while Carol did that whole thing about let's go smoke or whatever. But for the most part, we never really see any of the housewives smoke on camera.
Right.
But I'm sure most of them smoke, because I believe Luann even smokes, and I'm sure they smoke, but we never really see it.
Right.
And Dorinda was like, whatever. I'm like, okay. Maybe it was certain things that Luann started saying, and like, you getting sloppy now.
Exactly.
You might want to chill, because remember, we are still filming this show.
Yeah.
And I think,
because Luann falling in the bushes, which, don't get me wrong, I still love it. But that was her and Dorinda out there being messy drunk. So
you know
now
what?
I'm the sober one, where normally it would have been both of us sitting at the table slurring our words. Look at them down there fighting. But now one of us, it went too far, and now I can see where you may be going too far too. And it was bad, and I'm like, Dorinda, I mean, I'm not one to judge, and I don't ever hear about DUIs and all of that, but you get to the point where you would hurt someone. Yeah. And I feel like
and she's a mean drunk. Yeah. So it's not even a fun drunk. No. She's a mean drunk, and I think that
bushes and stuff, that's fun. But we saw Countess get mean too. And if that's a friend and you're like, hey, I don't want you to get a felony. I don't want you to get a mugshot. And I'm seeing the similarities. That's what you're supposed to do. Is maybe you was mad because she did it at the table, and she didn't wait till y'all got back and was in the bed laid up.
Because we saw that she was mad at Bethany when Bethany told her, "You have a problem."
On a private fucking book.
Yeah, I don't think that it was that. I just don't think that she likes anybody calling her out on it. I think she doesn't like it. Yeah. And I think that's why she is really an alcoholic, because she has a problem with it. Yeah. Because if it was just you drinking too much and having fun here and there, then you'll be like, oh, you know what, girl, I was fucked up. I'm sorry. You know, I don't know. I drank one too many and it went too far. But if you're defending it, you clearly have a problem.
And you're not down there, you know, drinking water or coffee trying to sober up. You got a damn pink blush chaser sitting down there thinking about what you just said. Like, I mean, I don't know. I can say I've been that wasted once, but I've never been a mean drunk. I've never been drunk where it's like the stuff that you regret really saying in the morning when you remember. Somebody probably got to remind you what you said, but I've never been that drunk, and I can't imagine how bad it must feel, especially with someone you're genuinely friendly with.
Well, I can't wait until we get an intervention episode.
Girl, slap my weave. Hold on.
What else did we get?
That damn Potomac. Oh. Look, we just like a moment of silence.
Monique, I need essential oils. Fuck her. I tried, Monique. Monique, I've been trying. I like you. Oh, well, I called Chris, and you know, the kids are telling me, because Chris Jr. told me that Daddy doesn't put out oils on the head and behind the neck because it's essential. I'm done, Monique. We got it.
I love that you're so entrepreneurial. I love it. But please, bitch, I'm about sick of you and the not for lazy moms. I'm sick of it.
I'm done of it. Knock it off. Now,
what else happened this episode, though?
Miss Candace came through on that read.
Oh, yes.
Ashley.
And she got her moment of singing. And she got to sing. This was her episode, honey. Because I thought about that last week when we were saying, Bravo was like, nah, bitch, you ain't singing. And she came out singing Happy Birthday in French. I was like, yeah.
You were like, I will not be denied. Google, how you sing. Hey, Siri, how you sing Happy Birthday in French?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, she came through with the read on Ashley.
Because
suck a dick. I was like, yes.
When she said that, I was like,
yes. That's when somebody gets you so bad you don't even know what to say. You just want to be like, you got a bad face. It's just like, what? That's not what we were even discussing.
When she said that, I was like, but then Monique went, I just have one question. Should she suck the brown one?
I was like, I can't with y'all. I can't with y'all. Peanut Gallery back there.
But I was so happy she came through with that.
Because see, Karen should have came with the sucker dick. Which one? The brown? Ask her husband. I'd have been like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Miss Karen was trying to get the read together, but she couldn't, so Candace just swooped in.
I told you on Twitter that would so be me. We'd be like, and another thing. You never get it right.
Candace was like, Mother, I had this. First of all, Ashley.
Yes.
Look, that would have made that scene so much better if she would have did it as like a lecture.
Mother.
Let me handle this, Mother. Ashley is for some reason obsessed with Karen. And I'm starting to believe that what Karen said is true, is that when they're struggling for storylines, because this thing with Karen hit the national papers and everything about her husband, that everybody is kind of clinging to her.
Yeah,
I'm like, Ashley, why are you so concerned anymore? Why do you care? Oh, because I heard your marriage. Why do you care?
When your marriage was struggling, when your restaurant was struggling, with everything, did they climb on and jump on the bandwagon? And no, these bitches held events at your damn struggling ass
ostrich, whatever.
I was just about to say ostrich damn steak serving ass restaurant.
Yeah, I'm like, but at a point, I was like, yeah, you do kind of seem obsessed with her.
Absolutely.
It was like, all right. She like, and you don't have your wedding ring and this. And it was like, oh my God, does that really mean? And why is it such of a concern to you? Leave it alone. Like, you made your statement, but it's not. It seems, I would say bullying. I don't think it's bullying because Miss Karen seemed like she can handle herself. She's just not doing it appropriately yet because she's not reading the fuck out of her.
Right.
But it's like, oh my God, every time you turn around, Ashley is saying something about her marriage or where she lives. And it's like, girl.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And I think that Karen hit the nail on the head is that, Ashley, because you're having so many problems now with your marriage and what's going on in your household, that now you're projecting that on me. So you're like, who can I attack? Nobody else here is married but Monique. And you clearly see that shit ain't struggling. Now she knocked up again. Like, so you're like, okay, let me go at Karen.
Right.
Because I think that what you didn't see and everybody else in the world saw is that you're a trophy wife.
Mm-hmm.
Michael is never getting you knocked up unless you steal his semen one night or you get it from his boyfriend or you're never going to be more than that. You're never going to have anything in your name. Everything will stay in Michael's name so that when y'all divorce, he can give you a garbage bag for your belongings and you can go about your business.
And your cashier's check.
Yeah, like, I think that Miss Karen needs to come through with that type of read. Like, go in and get her back. Get her back. Because she is clearly, I think that her frustration with Karen, her obsession is coming from that. Is that now she's kind of seeing, because we saw one episode where the uncle clearly told her, I don't think you should be with him. Yeah. He's never going to have a baby with you. I think that him saying your mother is the reason is an excuse. He just doesn't want to have a baby with you because he knows you're trying to secure the bag. He's like, I know how. I know what you're trying to do. I wouldn't be surprised if the motherfucker got a vasectomy 2 years ago and just never told.
I was thinking the same thing.
That would be really good. That would be really good because if he had a vasectomy and then she turns up pregnant and then he like, yeah, I'm happy for you, girl. But who baby is that again? Michael, don't be silly.
I wonder. I wish I was an attorney or I knew one. Would that void the prenup? If there was never anything in there about you not being able to have kids, would that guarantee me the bag?
Well, I think it would go towards the marriage though. Because it's like you never disclosed to me that you can't have children.
Right.
And that goes to one of the fundamental things of why people get married. Well, what they believed.
Right.
Or in the old days why people got married. So I could get the marriage voided, which I guess then the prenup would go out. But if the marriage is out, then a prenup, like what do I have?
The money I would be guaranteed would be out too. Probably.
Yeah, like what is it that? So you gotta.
Yeah. Ooh, that would be a good storyline though.
I think so, and we need to see that. Bravo, y'all put fucking hidden cameras in the house because I would love to see that. And she'd be like, Michael, stop playing. You know it's yours. Nah, bitch, nah. Check my paperwork.
Look, come out looking like that fine ass chef at the restaurant. Yes, bitch. I see you looking at him because I be looking too.
Oh my God! But yes, Miss Candace, you came through for Miss Karen, so I'm happy for you.
I love this episode with her. The Giselle and Rob, I just needed to stop. I just need them to stop.
What are they doing?
They are the mean girls. It don't matter.
Oh yeah, they are.
They can't clean that up. Y'all are the mean girls. I did like Robin. Do that. Go ahead.
Back up. Them two are what you would consider mean girls.
Yeah.
They are it. And I'm sure, I don't believe that Robin was always is naturally that way.
I agree with
I think Giselle brings her in.
I agree with you.
And
well,
Robin,
we saw that. Now, if Robin don't call Giselle out at the reunion with that shit with the leaving her at the hotel, which they finally unraveled, and she was like, oh yeah, well I did tell them to leave. Yeah, but you had her all riled up telling her they left you. They didn't want to wait. I'm waiting for you because and then you admit it right here. And that should be the caveat for your whole relationship. You getting riled up and being her pit bull over some shit that she set or she orchestrated.
And even the thing with Candace like, I don't know how I feel about Robert because when Giselle's not around, we have a great time.
Cool.
We get along. She's cool. And the minute Giselle's come around, she turns on me. I think that Robin is a follower. But Giselle is a true mean girl. And I believe her looks lend to her being a mean girl because she's light-skinned, the light color eyes, and she got all of the fixings of what black people look and think is dope or is pretty or whatever. So I'm sure
she believes her own height.
Yeah,
because
with her 1980
you
clothes.
can have that and still be a down to earth person. But she don't
No,
drink
she's
her
a mean
own
girl.
Kool-Aid.
Oh, she's a mean girl. And I was like, some people, and that's why I tell people, some people are true mean girls. Yeah. You could be in a fat body, you could be ugly or whatever. You're a mean girl. It's just that you can't use it as often because you're not given an opportunity.
Exactly.
However, if you give her weight loss, you change her hair, you do this, give her surgery, and then she starts being mean, it's not that. She was always that way. She just couldn't do it. And I think that's why I say I think that lends Giselle to being meaner because she has the look where she could get away with being mean. Whereas I would think, in my opinion, Sharice is not that attractive. She kind of a little hard on the eyes. She looked like she would play for the WNBA. Oh, no offense. No, I apologize to the WNBA. No offense to that. But she has like a little harder look. I don't think that she could have been a mean girl until she got the money from her husband.
I'm trying to get it together.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm back.
I'm sorry.
I hate you so much.
I apologize.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. No, you're right, though.
I think
I
that
see
wasn't.
what you're saying.
But I can't stand you. It was her. It's her.
Oh, my God.
I think y'all all pretty.
No, but I know what you're saying. That, and Candace, I think Ashley is a little threatened that this new hot young poppin' thing. What y'all can laugh all you want or whatever, but she is younger. She's getting married to someone who another white guy, but who is way better looking than Michael,
younger,
and seems to really be in it for the right reasons with her.
Well, because now she has I think that's another thing. She has the money,
right?
So that may be something too, because it's like I gotta be married for money. We saw your mother living in a tent. So we know that you may not be, and you were the host. I believe she was the hostess at Michael's restaurant, and that's how they got together. Yeah. So if you are not his wife, you may very well be the hostess at the next restaurant. Yes. Living in a tent. I think that bothers her. Yeah. And I think that now is clear, this whole thing with the separation, but then getting back together, but then not having it. I think that now it has become clearer. I think that maybe in the beginning, she was the trophy wife and she was okay with it because she like, hey, I was about to be living in a tent with my mama. Right. Thank you for the upgrade. And I think she was okay with it. But then I think that as time goes on, and especially with that split, I think it got her nervous. Like, oh shit, he could just drop me off like trash, and then I don't get anything out of the prenup. Yeah. And so, because remember, and I was going back to kind of think about it, but it seemed like that if they didn't make it to the 3 years, she got half. But if they made it to the 3 years, she would get some type of distribution.
It was like if they did not make it 3 years, she only got like 100,000 or 500. If they made it to the 3 and beyond, she would get half of his current worth then.
And I think that she kind of prolonged that divorce. Like, I'm not leaving because we close to 3 years, and so what are you gonna do? I'll just stay married to you.
Now he said,
and I think that's why he kicked the ass out the house. Like, so we can start setting this up that, okay, maybe whatever, but I'm gonna make a case that we were not married. She was living somewhere else, and I'm gonna try to fight it. Yeah. And then I think that's when maybe he consulted counsel, and they like, yeah, but you still gonna lose, bro. And he like, fuck this bitch.
Just get 2 more years out of this. Just get 2 more years out of it.
Listen, I'll get back with you. Sign this extension.
Mm-hmm. But now, what did you think about, I'm not really sure how I felt about it, what he said, what he told her about the kid thing. I don't think we ever really discussed it, that he didn't want to have kids because of the way she was raised. I feel like that's really a fucked up thing to say.
That's what I'm trying to say. And her uncle told her, I think that's an excuse that he just doesn't want to have kids with you.
Yeah, because you wouldn't say that. Even if I felt that way. If I love you, would I really say that?
But then what would I feel about you if I feel the way you were raised is fucked up and I'm concerned that you're going to raise our children fucked up? What does that mean I think about you? Yeah. I think you're fucked up. Right. So, I mean, come on, you're not putting these pieces together. You understand what's going on. He's not, it's not that, what's the name? He just thinks like, oh, you are fucked up. I don't want to have kids with you. Right. Because of the way you were raised. And I think you're going to raise my child that way. And then I think Karen said something that was really, she's like, listen, he has all adult children. Right. Like, not even teen, adult children. Yeah. This man does not want to start kids.
Over. He doesn't want to start over.
I wanted a trophy wife to have fun with, so I could take to events, so I don't have to be by myself, to go biking with, because I don't want to pay a fucking trainer. I did the math. You're a little cheaper. I like. Yeah. Karen, Miss Karen, hire me to read this girl for you. I'll just send it to you in a text message and just read it the way I'm gonna record it, so you can read it the way I'm saying.
The inflection and everything needs to be right.
But I think that and he's like, yeah, now if I have a baby with you, first I gotta make sure, if I have a baby with you, that definitely means I have to give you more money that I don't want to give you. Right. And then I don't have my trophy wife because now you're gonna get comfortable. Why would you do everything I tell you to do when you know you don't have to? Yeah. Because you're gonna be like, oh, no. Yeah. What you gonna do? You want a divorce now? Let's go, motherfucker. Let's go. And I wouldn't be too surprised if this allowing her, I don't want to say allowing, but her being on Housewives is kind of the setup to get her out of there. Right. Because we've seen this. I mean, I think Kelsey Grammer was the best at this. Girl. Yeah, boo, go.
Get
I'm going to Broadway.
Bro.
Yeah, come out to Broadway. I'm gonna just live in New York. Just stay there. Go do your show. I'll come. How many times you need me on this show? To secure her spot. 2 times exactly. Come. Look, he took. How many times? 2
sure,
full times?
That's it.
Or like 5 minutes. What would secure her for this season and that? Okay. Come. Bring all your friends.
Lord,
then.
mercy.
Okay, she secured that contract. Everything good. Okay. Yeah, I need to talk to you.
Oh, gosh.
We getting a divorce. Oh, and now you have income. I got proof of it.
Oh, no.
Because I'm convinced that Ms. What was her name? Camille. I was convinced that she didn't come back the second season so she could prove I don't have income. Right. Because it was like... Yeah, I never worked a day in my life until I did this show. And then not a day in my life, but because she was a dancer on one of the MTV or whatever, and that's how he met her. But it's like, I never worked after I met you until I did this show. And now you're going to drop me talking about I got income and I can support myself?
Nope. Show them.
I quit. Andy, fuck your contract. Sue me for it. I'm about to hit the jackpot, baby. I'm hitting the lottery tomorrow with this divorce. Sue me. And then she came right back. Yeah. She like, I'm convinced that's what happened. But girl. Anyway, so what other show we had other than Potomac?
That was it for me. Did you have anything else?
Girl, you know I'd be watching crime.
Oh Lord, you in these crime shows.
And I didn't even watch Love Is this week. I just was watching. Now I got another show, and it's called Evil Stepmother. It's all about stepmothers that...
It's called every Disney movie you've ever watched.
Wait, that's how they were comparing one that the mother treated the other kids, the husband kids, like Cinderella. And they were like, she just treated, and the girl was like, one day her son sat on my brother's face on a pillow, put a pillow over his face and sat on him, and he turned blue, and she just was sitting there. But IDTV, they had her like sitting there reading a book, like she doesn't care. And they were like, but she did nothing. I'm like, oh my God. I've been watching a lot of those. What other show was I watching? I was getting into some show, but I can't remember. I just can't be paying attention to all these shows.
I can't with you. Do you have any picks?
I do. One is for you.
Oh.
It's the Ms. and Ms.
Oh, I saw this. I like Miz. I like Miz, but his wife, her English gotta get better.
Where is she
Did you watch
from?
it? She's French.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I was going through the on demand, and I was watching something, and I was, you know what made me think about it, because he used to be the guy on
The Real World.
Yes. And I remember one time I ended up watching wrestling for some weird reason. I just turned and I'm like, oh my God, that's him.
One thing I do, and this is totally wrestling, so if you don't get wrestling, you probably will hate this part. But I support him because when he was on The Real World, as this kid, young, he used to do this character of The Miz.
The Miz, I remember.
It was based on The Rock. He would do The Rock's moves, but he would do it as The Miz. Sniffing the air, the eyebrow, the walking around. He had a fake belt that he walked around with and everything. Fast forward, he goes on Tough Enough. Fast forward, he does all this stuff. And I said, I can appreciate that he knew from jump this is what he wanted. Mm-hmm. And you turned Real World into a vehicle. Mm-hmm. You said, this is my claim to fame. It may be at the bottom of my resume at the end, but it's going to be the thing that gets me there.
Yeah, because that Real World shit, that had to be over 15 years ago.
His money is long now, and he's one of the most loved and hated characters on wrestling now.
Really?
Yeah. And I will say this. He has improved a lot, but when he first came there, he was shitty. He couldn't do the moves. He has gotten to the point now where he's the guy you love to hate because he can wrestle. He can talk that shit on the mic. He's a douche when he wants to be. But he had one of the most gorgeous women in wrestling fall in love with him. Everybody. I remember when I first heard they was dating, I was like, Maurice is dating a man? Like, she's gorgeous, I think. They got a baby now. And I'm just like,
that's what
just changed his whole life around, being on that show and getting that next step. I
always say, all you need is opportunity. It's no handouts or anything. Give me an opportunity and let me turn this into, because like you're saying, well, now he's successful on wrestling and that Real World stuff I
would say he's not John Cena level as far as the love, but he's John Cena level as far as the hate, because people be like, that motherfucker from the Real World can't hate him, booed, everything. But you also, when he has good matches, you're like, damn it, I gotta give it up for him. He does good.
So that's good. I'm happy to hear.
And he shows up to letter openings. He don't care. You want him, WE said, we need you to go to the letter. I'll be there. They want to read the phone book, I'm there. He their guy for the slander. So.
Oh, I'm so happy for him. Well,
I might have to give it a try.
That's one of the reasons why I was like, oh, I remember this guy. I used to be Real World and the Road Rules and all of that shit. He did the challenges.
And now I think he actually hosts
one of those
Real World Road Rules challenge that they still do or something. They still do something and he hosts.
I don't watch them anymore because everybody's a fucking actor, model.
The only one I used to be in love. Oh God, I used to be in love with TC or something. Oh, I loved me some TC. Jeez Louise.
And then my next pick is Burden of Truth on CW.
Was it advertised?
What do you think?
Them summer shows, I don't be too keen on starting. Because I tried one, The Outcast or something, The Outsider on CW. Oh, that shit was bad. I couldn't even get through the first episode. It was bad.
Oh my God. So well, I'm going to give this one a check. It comes on the 1st, which I'm assuming is Wednesday.
Yes.
Oh, no, it comes on today.
Oh.
Oh,
that's interesting.
The repeat.
Okay, it's a repeat. So they already had the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's on demand, so I'm going to give that one a try. Cause
CW likes this girl, but I don't know. It's something about her face. She like a broke Minka Kelly or something. I'm not a fan of hers. But I might try one episode.
Oh,
I'm looking to see if there's anybody else in here that I like, and not really. I wanted to pick a repick. Are you done with your picks? I'm sorry.
Oh no, the last one was The Perfect Murder on ID.
Oh yeah, we done with the picks, honeys. Damn,
y'all gonna have to start to accept some of these shows. This is my life.
Fight it like I do.
Solving fucking crimes. Okay. Y'all should be thanking me for solving these murders that have already been solved.
That was my favorite thing.
And on ID.
That was my favorite thing. You thinking you solving murders. I'm repicking something because I think I picked it, and I think you watched the first episode, but you weren't really a fan. But there's been some episodes that have fallen in now, and I think we're like up to 6 or 7. Succession. I love this fucking show.
Really? So yes. I was into a Succession, but then I got out.
Oh, this last episode was the bridal and what's it called when guys groom shower or whatever? The
bachelor
party. And this fucking episode I don't even know how to explain it. All I can say is the groom. So they go to this I want to call it an orgy, but it wasn't necessarily an orgy for sex. It was just an orgy for anything you could think of. Did you want to smoke crack one time and leave it here and never smoke crack again? You can do that. Did you want to watch a live donkey show? You can do that. But once you leave here, this is where it stays. You don't know where you're going. So the groom goes, and I don't know if you remember which one is the groom, but once you try to catch up on it, you'll get reminded. He's a cornball.
It's the one that was marrying the sister.
Yes,
I remember.
So, the youngest brother is the one that got them into the party. It was all a vehicle to get the older brother into the room with the guy that's trying to buy the father's company. Oh, it was so good. And so the groom, however, he feels like, okay, I can be free, So he gets a blowjob from some girl. And he's telling everybody, and he's so proud of himself. He's like, yeah, and she just took my load. And oh, it was so hot. It was fucking hot. And then she kissed me and gave it back to me. And they all looking at him like, are you really telling us this? And he was
was before or after he smoked the crack?
Well, no, nobody smoked crack. I'm just giving you an example.
Oh, okay.
The party is like you can indulge in anything. It's not just orgy. It's not just sex. You can indulge in anything, but once you leave here, it doesn't go outside of here.
Because I was about to say, it would be hard for crack not to go with
no crack. There was drugs there, but he didn't smoke crack. I'm sorry, that was probably a bad analogy. But, so he's telling everybody, and he's so proud that he got a blowjob, but everybody's like, you swallowed your own cum? They just keep asking. And every time, so it's one of those things where like, you do something and you think it's so fucking cool, and the more people like ask you, you realize, oh, that shit was not cool at all. Oh, that was fucking disgusting. Okay, I should probably not tell nobody. Oh my god, this episode, I ain't gonna lie. So the first episode I liked, second and third, and it was a little slow moving with the guy because the father was recovering from the stroke. Remember, These last few fucking episodes have been killer. I love it. I love the guy that's playing Kendall. I even love the little damn little brother. But this episode, oh my god, I love this show. So I am repicking Succession as one of my favorites. I want y'all to start watching it, binge it. It's almost over, so maybe if you want to wait till the end, and you'll have 8 or 10 just to breeze straight through.
Because I watched the first 2 or 3.
But that was my repick, and I think we had talked about on here. The Sinner is coming back this week too.
Yes, Jessica Biel produced it.
So this is the story that we're going to get with this kid whose parents get killed somehow. So that's coming back. I want to say TBS, but let me just make sure.
Not TBS.
USA, right?
Yeah, I'm about to say TBS.
Okay.
Funny.
Okay, so it's on US. You got it on USA, and it is.
I'm gonna say that would be so not right if I turn TBS on the laugh.
Stop it!
And I see somebody getting murdered. I would be so sad. Like,
shut up.
Why y'all do that? I thought that would happen.
Wednesday, so it's back on USA on Wednesday. So that's my 2 picks.
All right, so we're gonna get up out of here. The new episode available every Tuesday on Google. I was gonna say Uno for some reason, but Google, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, everything on where we on
all
YouTube.
Of it.
We everywhere. Follow us tonight on Twitter. I'm probably gonna live tweet Potomac. Usually I'm on for that, and polls I usually am available because they do shit that make me so angry that even if I'm not on my phone or I'm not in a position to do it, I grab my phone to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing it.
Yeah, I'll be on for Potomac. I don't know if anything else is coming on after that I'm gonna watch live, but I'll definitely be on for Potomac.
Yeah, I gave up on that.
So we'll give you some.
That's some weird shit.
It is weird. I do like it though. I'm still with it, but
and I probably. It's always weird to tweet about the shows on Hulu and them because
everybody watches at different times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even like Handmaid's Tale that had a set time, I would watch it at 12 midnight.
Right.
And you're like, well, nobody else is watching it right now. So
yeah, a couple people caught up on Castle Rock, like I was watching when they were watching, or they had already watched or something. So I got a little interaction with some people who had already watched it. And I wanted to I might share it again on our Instagram, but I shared there's Hollywood Reporter is doing Easter eggs, so they're telling you where the things in each episode, what books they're coming from in the Stephen King library. So I shared it on Twitter, but I'll share it on Instagram too every week, so people can see and they can go to the article if they want to read it and see where it's being taken from. That's
dope. Y'all know Fat Pretty Girl keep that Instagram popping. I even go on there. I be like, oh, what's that? And I be like, I should be aware of that shit. But I even go on there. I be like, oh, she really does a great job in finding shows. We try. I really enjoy the Instagram page. And I'll be trolling at night or whatever. All right, so we're gonna get up out of here.
#stay addicted.
See y'all next week.